Welcome to the Beyond You podcast, where we have real conversations about healing, trusting yourself again, and building the kind of relationships that actually feel good. I'm Samantha, and if you've ever felt like you're just going through the motions, like you're doing all the right things but still feeling disconnected, you're in the right place. Because here we go beyond the surface, beyond the hurt, beyond the patterns that keep you stuck. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Hey, love. If you're new here, I'm Samantha, and this is where we have real conversations about healing, boundaries, and learning to choose yourself without apology. But before we dive in, I need to say something real quick. About 94% of you are listening right now, but haven't hit subscribe yet. And I get it. You're just seeing if this resonates. But if you find yourself keep coming back, if these conversations are hitting home, do me a favor and subscribe. It helps these episodes reach more women who need them, and it makes sure you don't miss what's coming next. All right, let's talk about something that's been coming up a lot in my sessions lately. And you know, I love to keep it real here. And I need you to really hear this because it's subtle, it's sneaky, and it often gets praised as being a good woman. I'm using quotation marks here. Oh, when I tell you, when it comes to codependency. Now, before you click away thinking, that's not me, I need you to stay with me, okay? Because here's what most people don't understand about codependency. It doesn't look like weakness. It looks like you're caring when it's not caring at all. So it looks like being the friend everyone can count on, the partner who's always understanding, the daughter who never says no, the woman who has it all together, except when you're alone. You don't even know who you are anymore. And I know this has happened to me because there's time in relationships that I mentioned in my previous episodes that past those narcissistic toxic relationships, I didn't even know what color even like. So when I tell you I understand, I understand. Know that you are not falling apart. You're not a mess. You're high functioning, successful, capable. But understand that somewhere along the way, you stopped being a person and became a support system. And I need you to remember you. And the scariest part of all this is that everyone around you thinks you're doing great. Today, we're breaking it down. 10 subtle signs that you're not just caring, you're losing yourself. In love, even if 3 of these hit home, we need to talk about what's really going on. So let's get into it. Okay, so I love to do these in sections because I feel like it really helps to resonate with all that's going on. So we're going to first get into the difference between caring and codependency. Because before we go to the signs, I need for us to talk about the difference because this is where it gets confusing for a lot of you, for our community, for each of my sessions, wherever our program that's coming up. Look, I understand because caring looks like this because I really wanted to break this down. When you show up for people you love, you offer support when they need it, you want good things for them, you help when you have the capacity. Listen to words I'm saying as I emphasize these, the capacity, and you feel fulfilled by genuine connection. Okay. This is what caring looks like. When it comes to codependency, that looks like you can't relax until everyone else is okay. Your mood depends on someone else's mood. You feel responsible for fixing other people's problems. You give even when you have nothing left. You don't know who you are outside of being needed. Oh, when I tell you, this is me. So I want you to be able to see the difference though. Caring is a choice you make from wholeness, where codependency is a compulsion that comes from woundedness. And here's what makes it so hard, especially for us as women, and especially as women of color. We are often raised to believe that self sacrifice is what makes us valuable, that putting everyone else first is what makes us good, that having needs makes us selfish. So codependency doesn't feel like a problem. It feels like love. It feels like loyalty. It feels like you're what you're supposed to do. But when I tell you, if caring for others requires you to abandon yourself, that is not love. That is survival. And it's costing you more than you realize. So I like to be able to give you some mindset shifts here. So this is my first mindset shift. Feel free to take notes, whatever you need. You can be a caring person without making yourself responsible for everyone else's emotional well-being. Compassion doesn't require self-abandonment. All right, let's get into these signs. Okay, so let's get into the 10 subtle signs. Sign number 1, you can't make simple decisions without checking in. What restaurant to go to? What movie to watch? What to wear? You find yourself constantly asking, well, what do you think? Or what do you want to do? Not because you're being polite, though, but because you generally don't know what you want anymore. You spent so long prioritizing other people's preferences that you've lost touch with your own. And when you do have a preference, you immediately second guess it. Actually, no, let's do what you want. And then if it resonates with you, please make sure to share this with someone. Share it with 3 people so we can make sure to more people hear about this. We don't realize that when we do this and how it's affecting us. Because real talk, when you can't order food without considering everyone else's dietary restrictions, their budget, their mood, that's not being considerate. That's codependency. Sign number 2, you're exhausted but can't say no. Someone asks for a favor. You're already drowning. You have nothing left to give, and you yet say yes anyway. Then, because I understand, then you resent them for asking, resent yourself for saying yes, and feel guilty for being resentful. You know you need rest, girl. You know this. You know you're overwhelmed, but the thought of disappointing someone else feels worse than running yourself into the ground. And I want you to get clear, and here's what's happening here. You've learned that your worth is tied to your usefulness. So saying no feels like I'm not valuable anymore, and that's terrifying. When I tell you, I get you. But mindset shift number 2, saying no to others is sometimes the only way to say yes to yourself. And you're worthy to be chosen even by yourself, even for yourself. Okay. Sign number 3, you're the relationship translator. He didn't mean it like that. She's just going through a lot right now. They had a hard childhood. Oh, but I tell you, tell my clients this all the time. You cannot keep just providing or just being overly empathetic to somebody constantly. Empathy starts when you're just matching emotion with emotion. Yes, some of the worst childhood ever, but you just stop there. You don't keep going and trying to fix it afterwards because you're constantly making excuses for people's behavior. Explain to others why someone acted that way, minimizing the hurt they caused, defending them even when they're wrong. You've become the emotional translator between someone and actual reality, and you're exhausted from it. Your friend cancels plans at last minute for the 3rd time. Everyone else is annoyed, but you jump in with she's just really stressed at work right now. Give her a break. Meanwhile, you're hurt too. You just won't admit it. So what's really happening here? You're protecting someone from accountability. I need you to see that, because if they are held accountable, they might get upset. And if they get upset, what happens? You feel responsible for fixing it. Allow people to have their own emotions. You do not own people's emotions. Okay. Sign number 4, you feel anxious when things are calm. Everything is fine. No one needs anything. There's no crisis to manage. And instead of relaxing, you're on edge. And sometimes I see women getting stressless and restless to what's going on, waiting for something to go wrong, scanning for problems, creating problems when there aren't any because calm feels dangerous. This is your nervous system stuck in codependent mode. You've been in crisis management for so long that peace feels like the calm before the storm. Please drop a comment if this one hits. When was the last time you felt genuinely at peace without waiting for the other shoe to drop? Let me know in the comments. Sign number 5, you can't celebrate your wins without downplaying them. Oh, I see this time and time again. You get a promotion, you hit a goal, something good happens. And your first instinct is to make it smaller. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. I just got lucky. Other people worked harder. Understand you cannot let yourself fully celebrate because somewhere along the way, you learn that taking up space with your joy makes other people uncomfortable. So you shrink it, you minimize it, you share the credit even when it's yours. And the culture piece in here, sign number 6, you monitor everyone's mood and adjust accordingly. You walk into a room and immediately scan, is he okay? Is she upset? What's the energy? And then you adjust your entire personality to match what the room needs. If someone's upset, you become a comforter. If someone's happy, you match their energy. If someone's angry, you become small and quiet. You're shape shifting all day long. And by the time you're alone and you don't even know what your mood is. So I just like to have some real talk moments here because you shouldn't have to perform a different version of yourself depending on who's in the room. That's not connection. That is survival. Sign number 7, you keep secrets to protect people from consequences. He asks you not to tell anyone about the argument. She asks you to cover for her. They ask you to keep something to yourself, and you do it, even when keeping the secret hurts you. I just saw this last week where we're keeping these secrets and people don't know that we're suffering. And then we're making these decisions for ourselves and just questioning ourselves constantly. But we do this because and what hurts me when seeing this is that even when we're keeping the secrets that hurt us, even when it means lying, even when you're carrying the weight that was never yours to carry, understand that you've become the keeper of everyone else's mess. And it's isolating you because you can't talk to anyone about what you're actually experiencing. Here's what codependency does. It convinces you that protecting people from their own consequences is love, and it's not. It's enabling, and it's costing you your peace. And we don't do that here. We stay in our peace every day. So, sign number 8, you need to be needed. When someone solves their own problems without you, you feel irrelevant. When people are doing fine without your help, you feel anxious. You find yourself inserting yourself into situations, offering unsolicited advice, or creating problems to solve because being needed is how you feel valuable. And this is the honest question for you. If no one needed you tomorrow, would you know who you are? Would you know what you're here for? If that question makes your chest tight and you found something that needs healing. Mind shift number 3, your value doesn't come from what you do for others. It comes from who you are, and who you are is enough, even when you're not doing anything for anyone. You were born worthy. I think sometimes we tend to forget that. Sign number 9, you can't enjoy things if someone else isn't happy. You're at dinner, the food is amazing, but your partner seems off. And now you can't enjoy anything. You're watching them, checking in, trying to fix whatever's wrong. Your entire experience is hijacked by someone else's mood. Or you're having a good day, but your friend texts something sad, and immediately your good day is over. You can't hold joy when someone else is in pain. What this really is, emotional enmeshment, where their feelings become your feelings, where you can't separate what's yours from what's theirs. And sign number 10, you resent the people you're helping. This is the one that tells you it's gone too far. You're doing everything for everyone. You're showing up, you're sacrificing, you're giving, and underneath it all, you are angry. You're resentful. You're keeping score. It's not to be able to judge for keeping score, but be mindful when you're doing it and understand that you're saying things like, I did this for them and they didn't even, or I always show up for her, but when I need, I give and no one appreciates. Okay. Here's the hard truth here though. That resentment isn't about them. It's about you. Because when you give from depletion instead of from your overflow, when you say yes, when you mean no, understand you're abandoning yourself. And also when you help out of obligation instead of genuine desire, resentment is inevitable. You're not mad at them for taking. You're mad at yourself for giving what you didn't have to give. So now we're in section 3. What to do if you recognized yourself. Okay. If you're sitting here realizing, oh no, that's me. First of all, breathe. It's okay. That's why you're here. That's why you're on the pod. That's why you're listening to our podcast every week. Awareness is the first step. You can't heal what you do not see. Okay. So second, I need you to understand something. Codependency isn't a character flaw. It's a trauma response. So we work through this. Somewhere along the way, understand you learn that your needs don't matter as much as others' needs. Love means sacrifice. Your value comes from what you provide. Boundaries means you're selfish. Other people's emotions are your responsibility, and you adapted. So this is not something that's all on you. You become, or you became what you needed to become to stay, just to stay safe, to keep connection, to be loved. So I get it. That adaptation served you then, but it's not serving you now. So, I'm always gonna leave you tools on what you can do and practical tips. So here's where to start. First, I want you to get clear on what's actually yours to carry. Not every problem is yours to solve. Not every emotion is yours to manage. Okay, so not every person is yours to save. Start asking, is this mine? And if it's not, practice putting it down. And if you're in my sessions, I say, give people back their toys, give people back their stuff. We don't take people's things. We don't take people's emotions. Number 2, start small with I need statements. I need some time alone. I need to think about that before I say yes. I need you to handle this one yourself. Your needs are not inconveniences. They're information. Number 3, notice when you're performing. Pay attention to when you're shape-shifting, when you're saying what you think people want to hear, when you're prioritizing someone else's comfort over your own truth. Just notice. Don't judge, just notice it. Number 4, work with someone who gets it. Codependency doesn't heal in isolation, it heals in relationship. But in relationships where you're safe to have needs, safe to disappoint people, safe to be yourself, that might be in therapy, that might be a support group, that might be the community right here, whatever that feels good for you. And this is exactly why I created that Miss Me journal, because codependency makes you lose yourself slowly, quietly, until one day you wake up and don't recognize what's looking back at you in the mirror. So know that if you want more information about this, I have tools for you to be able to use. The journal has boundary skips for you. You don't know how to say no. It has prompts to help you to rediscover what you actually want, need, like. It has tools to help you separate your emotions from everyone else's. It's your companion as you do the work of coming back home to yourself. And it also comes with my new ebook, Reclaiming You, the 3-step blueprint every woman needs after toxic love. And together, it's just your complete system for healing codependency. You're building your sense of self. But also understand that you coming back every week and just showing up for yourself is good too. It's just an extra step you want to go deeper into it. So understand, if this episode called you out, you're not alone. So many of us were taught that this is what love looks like, that this is what being a good woman is, which woman means, but it's not. Real love doesn't require you to disappear. Real care doesn't require self-abandonment. And breaking free from codependency doesn't make you selfish. It makes you whole. So here's what I need you to do. Share this episode. Send it to the friend who's always exhausted for taking care of everyone. Post in your stories and tag me at IamSamantha.a on Instagram. Let's normalize calling this out. Drop a comment and tell me which sign hit hardest for you. Which one made you go, oh, that's me? Because your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to see to realize you're not alone. Haven't subscribed yet? Love, we've been through 20 minutes together now. Make it official. Hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. And if you want weekly healing tools in your inbox, join my email community where I send newsletter and tips just like these every week that are short and compact to be able to take with you, and they're practical advice every week. Real guidance, no fluff, Link is in the show notes. And if you're ready to do the deepest work of breaking codependent patterns and rediscovering who you are beneath all that people please and go deeper, know that we have the Reclaiming You ebook and I Miss Me journal. They work together as your complete toolkit. Link is in the show notes. You can follow me daily at Instagram at IamSamantha.a, TikTok at Moving Beyond You. Remember, love, you can be caring and have boundaries. You can show up for people and show up for yourself. You don't have to choose between connection and your own well-being. Both are possible. You're not selfish for wanting more. You're not difficult for having needs. You're not too much for taking up space. You're just finally ready to stop losing yourself to keep everyone else comfortable. And that's growth. I'll talk to you next week. Until then, choose yourself at least once today. Just once, and see what happens. Take care, love.